All right, we're going to head back out to the range with Kyle of Defoor Proformance. We're going to talk about strong hand, working a little shot timer, and talk about acceptable hits. Let's see what he's got to say.
Hey, Kyle here with Defoor Proformance Shooting. Today on the range to show you guys how to train with a pro timer, how to do concealed draws both with both hands and strong hand only, and using acceptable hits on the target area. So the first thing I'm going to do today, cold, haven't shot in about a week, is I'm going to take a shot from concealed draw, 7 yards on an IPSC target. So let's give it a go. All right, let's go down and take a look. My time, look at it right there, is a 1:45. Even with that, I had a bit of a bobbled grip, but we're going to talk about all this in detail. So the first thing I want to show you guys is on the target here, traditional IPSC target, we have the A zone right up here, all right? And the A zone drops down, it's about 10 inches long. I personally do not like using the entire A zone as a target area, and here's why. The lower part of this for stopping a person or a threat is a little bit optimistic. So I like using the top half of the A zone. And this is one of the things we want to cover here with this segment is acceptable target areas, you know, on the human body. So high thoracic cavity, because up in here I've got heart, I've got lungs, I've got the aortic arch, and I've got a bunch of arteries going everywhere. So I'm good with that hit right there. So now let's go back a little bit. And what I'm going to talk to you guys about now is how to use a pro timer, because a lot of people, it's kind of new to them. So one of the things I want to show you is with a pro timer, these things are super sensitive. So what I'm going to do is, this thing's on delay. I'm just going to flick this when it beeps, and I'm going to show you a human reaction time. So right there, 0.31, and that's typical, somewhere around a quarter second. Do it one more time, just so we got, you know, a couple here to go by. But when I hear the beep, I'm just going to flip it. All right, so that's a 0.26. Now, how I got a little bit faster is I reacted at the beginning of the beep instead of the middle or the end of the beep. And I can actually get even faster than that. So if I come into right here, a 0.15, because I'm reacting at the beginning of the beep. So how that translates to a tactical concealed carry type situation. Instead of waiting on a threat to develop, once I know something's going to happen, I'm going to start reacting a little bit. And that's with something I call a slow draw. So for a law enforcement officer coming up on a car, for a situation that's already developed, instead of starting from out here, I might actually already be kind of going for my stuff a little bit. You see that a lot with officers that pull over a suspect car. So after that, now that I know human reaction time, I'm going to start working on it a little bit. The typical concealed draw, most guys will take their other strong hand and come across the body to lift the garment up and go for the gun. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's hard to see. If you guys remember what I first did there on that cold draw, is instead of coming over here, what I'm actually doing is I'm coming with both hands and flipping my shirt up. It makes a little bit of a difference. The difference is between 0.05 and 0.10, but it's a huge difference, because as you saw with a t-shirt draw and a nice tucked away holster, I pulled off a sub 1.5 second draw. So a couple things to work on there. I'll do one more quick demo for you guys. So if you watch it real quick, my hands are down at my side. When the buzzer goes, I flip, come out. Same thing, a 151 that time, and still just a little bit faster. So what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to hit this buzzer. I'm going to do a traditional concealed draw with the other strong hand defeating the cover, and this hand not really employed at the time. Now, if you look at that, that was a 160, and that is that 0.10, 0.05 or 0.10 difference. So just that little flip of the shirt, that's kind of what I guess I'm famous for with concealed carry, is a little bit of that instead of this. Now, one last reason I do that. I do a lot of combatives with SIOC Tactical Group. We are very big into other weapons such as the blade. So other things to think about. Depending on the threat area around me, I might not only draw my pistol, but I might draw my blade as well. And by doing the draw stroke that I just showed you, that puts my hand in a place where I can do both. All right? So the last thing I want to tell you guys is when you're out on the range, number one, to get faster, use a pro timer. It's the best $130 investment you're going to find. Number two, use a target area like the top half of an A zone on an IPSC as your acceptable hit. Don't use a full target. Be realistic with your training. See you on the range.